Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, non-binary pals, and the technicolor rainbow in between, this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Chris, a Boingo writer Gaston, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner in this endeavor.
The proud owner of a brand new AEW Unrivaled Collection Tag Team Championship, the Vacuuminator.
Oh, I bet you did a lot of things to earn and deserve that.
Yeah, I spent $20.
Oh, okay. I was.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes to bribe the Bucks. Just slip them a 20 to let you.
Oh, that's it. But you went the Ted DiBiase route.
I did.
We're already off on a fucking wonky start.
Hey, I got a package. God damn it.
Fuck you.
Go.
No, fuck you. Hey. You're not bald enough yet to do the Stone Cold thing. You're getting there.
It's great audio content.
Yeah. No, he going through massive bird flips.
Buster, what the hell are you doing in the chat? This is a wrestling podcast. You don't watch wrestling.
Yeah,
Did you watch wrestling this week, Buster?
Balls Mahoney.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah. He wrestled naked, or almost naked. He wrestled with a fanny pack.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Fucking ECW alum. Weird. No, we got this is Modular Media Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about wrestling in a podcast as the group Modular Media. And we do it live. Hence the live in the name.
A+ explanation.
That's
the show, everybody. We talk about wrestling and nobody cares.
Thank you for saying hello, Buster.
Hi, Buster.
Tell Arthur, hello. And Brain.
Oh! Bro, I haven't thought about that show in a while.
Oh, yeah, deep cuts.
It's not even a deep cut, really.
Yeah, no. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking...
Jury rigging shit live on the show. This is fantastic.
Hell yeah. But we got some new wrestling to talk about, as we do every single week.
Uh-huh.
But specifically this week, we have... You're welcome, Buster. You are welcome, Buster. We're talking about a brand new wrestle show from our favorite wrestle promotion, AE Wrestle.
Yes, that's the company name.
It's AE Wrestle. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just AE.
Yeah.
Elegante Wrestle? I'm trying to figure out a joke. It's not working. Rampage happens last.
Always empty wrestling. That's what Dan Lambert's going to start calling it.
But Rampage started last week. Rampage is an hour-long show that airs after SmackDown on Fridays.
It's AEW After Dark.
I mean, have you seen Christian Cage? I mean, God, come on, look at him.
Christian Cage does kind of have daddy energy, doesn't he?
He has farmer market dad energy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, like Terry Crews, Chris Evans.
Definitely.
Yeah. But speaking of Christian Cage, there was 3 matches on Rampage for the first ever showing. It is 3 title opportunities, shots, matches.
Defenses.
Offensive.
It's called a title defense. Literally the only company that says title opportunity is WWE.
But I was also going like, offense, defense, offense. Sports jokes.
I hate sports.
Yet you watch wrestling.
Wrestling isn't a sport.
It's a
It's a
sport in the same way.
performance.
It's a sport in the same way gymnastics is a sport. Is gymnastics not a sport?
I would love to see some gymnastics people react to that statement.
What are you talking about? It's similar. It's a very similar.
No, no,
thing.
no, no. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I think a lot of gymnastics people would take huge offense to that.
Dude, Julia Hart did gymnastics.
I know there's a lot of wrestlers who came from gymnastics. It's just certain people are very certain people who don't care about wrestling and are into actual sports are very defensive of their actual sports.
But let's talk about this actual sporting contest of Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title. I thought the match was really fucking good.
Yeah, this is a great title match, honestly.
It was a good Christian match.
Yeah, like it never got super intense. I think the start was maybe a little bit sloppy, but like once they got going, it got really enjoyable. And I love how they very much played to the crowd with the whole idea of Kenny not really wanting to do this, being in there.
Yeah. Hold on. There's what I was looking for. I was trying to figure out why I felt so off center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that helps. No, I really enjoyed it. It was definitely more of a Christian match than a Kenny match.
Yeah.
In terms of like style and presentation, and I think they did that partially to make Christian look more impressive going into All Out.
Mm-hmm. Like this match definitely happened just so Christian has a lot of momentum going into All Out.
Yep. But also,
like, have you heard the whole backstage reason for Christian being the guy at All Out?
I know why they aren't doing Hangman, which is
Hangman's having a baby towards the end of the month.
The Babby, and Babby takes precedence, and everybody understands that, and it's just like piss poor timing. So we'll add another chapter to your story, elongate it some, and we'll figure out something. That's probably why All Out feels like it's like right around the corner and nothing's been announced. A lot of their plans just had to be.
All Out is like 3 weeks away at this point.
Yeah. But
and we're starting to get some matches this week.
Yeah. But normally we have matches like at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks out, at least one or two. Mm-hmm. Right now, the only ones we have definitively confirmed is the Bucks are going to be facing someone in a cage match. Paul White is facing QT, Marsh Snail,
and Andrade and Pac.
But that's what we're now getting those matches, and it makes total sense. We have been building up to them. It's just I'm not saying it's a worrisome thing. It's just kind of like, oh, okay. This pay-per-view.
All Out has this unfortunate track record of being marketed as AEW's WrestleMania and feeling more like AEW's Survivor Series.
Yeah, I'd say SummerSlam. It can be just as big, but
See, to me, SummerSlam for AEW is Revolution. Like, the way they all feel to me going off of their current track record, Double or Nothing is WrestleMania, Revolution is SummerSlam, Full Gear is Royal Rumble, and All Out is Survivor Series.
Fair enough. But eventually Christian does win this match with basically... There's got to be a term for it where the heel tries to cheat and the babyface just uses it instead. Comeuppance, with a little bit of a steel chair comeuppance where
Taste your own medicine.
Yeah. Does a kill switch to Kenny on a steel chair, which looked fucking sick.
Yeah. Especially because the whole sequence of it was just so flawlessly pulled off, with the Bucks coming out with the chair and acting all cocky and shit. Well, whoever was distracting the referee. And then the second they're out of there, Christian scares him off, and then just boom, flip, bam.
Yep.
Kenny's down.
And I think part of the surprise made it feel a little bit more believable, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's a finisher version of a fluke roll-up.
Yeah.
Cousin to the fruit roll up.
But there was yeah, the match overall was pretty solid, I thought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I feel fine with Kenny losing a belt for now.
I definitely feel like they're gonna do something to get the belt back on Kenny. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like Christian's getting a short run with it. Like Emergence Impact is having that pay-per-view this weekend. I feel like Christian's going to have a defense there, retain, and then he's going to lose it at All Out. Like I really feel like at some point they're going to start saying, and the match at All Out is for all the marbles.
Yeah, I can definitely see like. I can see like a promo segment next week of Kenny going like, I don't want to, I don't know, and Christian going like, oh, I'm the babyface, I'll put it all on the line. Here you go.
Yeah. And I did like his post match promo backstage with Mark Henry. That was pretty good. Made him feel like the kind of righteous veteran babyface.
Especially getting what is essentially the current version of what has been one of his home promotions for a long, long time of TNA, now Impact.
Yeah, and remember, he never had that title back during his original run.
Yeah, so now that he has the belt, it's a oh cool, you're on your last run in a career.
Yeah, it feels like he's checking off boxes in a fun way.
A lot of the veterans just kind of feel that way. It feels a lot of the veterans in AEW are kind of like, all right, I know I don't have a long time, and I couldn't really do all this stuff in WWE or in other promotions, so I want to get as much of this stuff done as I can.
Mm-hmm. It's an ongoing retirement storyline.
For like a lot of them, it's Christian, it's Paul White, it's Sting, it's Jericho.
Mm-hmm. And it all feels very solid and cohesive. However, before we move on, I think we should talk about something that doesn't feel very solid and cohesive about this show. This announced team.
Oh boy, it is rough. It is fun. It's fun.
I'll agree it's fun, but it's just too many fucking people.
Oh,
I really feel like this announced team should just be Jericho and Excalibur.
I
understand adding in Mark Henry because he's not announcing for anything else, but Taz also being there is just like, do you not get enough work? Because you're like leading a faction and also announcing for Dark.
It's like ordering 6 pancakes about this big full of chocolate chips. You're thinking, oh man, it's gonna be great, and while you're eating it, it's going like, oh man, this is so fucking good. And then you get like to the 5th bite, and you go like, this is too sweet. There's too much.
And like during this first match, I thought it was pretty solid. During this first match, they like rarely talked over each other, but from there on out, it felt like every third comment was somebody interrupting somebody else.
You can say the name. It was Jericho. It was mostly Jericho.
I mean, I did see a meme on Reddit that was the announce team, and it's pictures of all of them, but Jericho's got like that Photoshop effect that makes it warped, like he's yelling.
The pop cat.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those.
I want to see a bird meme of it where it's like Excalibur saying, "Oh, Tope Suicida, he jumped off the top rope! Oh my god!"
Here's the thing: I don't mind Jericho's commentary. I like Jericho's commentary in a normal setting. It's just with this many guys, it's awkward.
Especially because like Mark Henry was a little bit more. He was more analytical and relaxed. He was very much looking at it from a sportsman point of view. Taz does so similarly with a little bit of sense of humor. Jericho is very much JR in Hell in the Cell. Mankind is falling off 100% 24/7. That's Jericho.
Jericho's also half color commentator, which is why I think him and Excalibur play off of each other so well. Is Excalibur does sound excited, and he does know how to deliver that gravitas with every sentence, but he sticks very much towards the facts of what is going on, whereas Jericho is perfectly comfortable breaking character to go like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. Jericho really wants to put his promo skills to put everyone over.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean,
Fair
remember
enough.
Pineapple Pete?
Pineapple Pete, Jericho. Jericho is good on commentary. It's just he needs less people to step on.
Yeah. So, like, maybe cut at least one person from this
I
desk.
say Taz.
Yeah. Like, I hate to be like, hey, fuck that guy, but, like, Taz is doing enough. We don't need him on this show.
And plus, ultimately, Taz and Mark Henry have the same kind of energy.
Hmm.
So it's either one or the other, and you haven't done really anything. Mark Henry doesn't do a ton, except probably be backstage and dispense advice and sagely wisdom.
The big thing Mark Henry does, from what I've seen, is he's very involved in their community outreach programs. Like,
Yep.
he's in every one of those
Did you
photos.
see there was a video clip of local news when they were at some place of them helping out a food bank. It was nice.
Yeah, they did that this week, and then Britt went to a ball game in Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
and like helped out with the sensory deprivation room.
Yep, yep, yep. But commentary, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as it could be.
Yeah. But moving on to something that was as good as it could be,
Oh yeah.
we got a video package hyping up Fuego del Sol for the casual audience, and then we got Fuego del Sol versus the Redeemer Miro for the TNT Championship, and this match was fucking great.
This match was everything it needed to be. It made you believe in Fuego del Sol as a babyface.
Mhm.
Just immediately, because he just was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do Miro's one weakness, which is DDTs."
And because of that, I feel like more than anything else, this match establishes continuity between brands, I guess, between shows. Because remember, a couple weeks ago on Dynamite, we got Lee Johnson versus Miro. Lee Johnson almost won with a DDT.
Yep.
And so Fuego comes in here and he's like, we fit in the spam DDTs, fam.
He's also the master of the tornado DDT.
Yeah.
So like it's his finisher, it's his go-to. So yeah, like it makes total sense.
And like he gets Miro to a 2 count twice. And the second time, I literally went, holy shit, they're giving him the belt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But sadly, not the case.
Yeah, Fuego is tapped out in the game over and just kind of sits there in defeat as Miro leaves because Miro's been hyping up that like, oh, this match, if Fuego wins, he's getting the contract because he'll be the champion. But God has judged him unworthy, and as God's messenger, I will defeat him. So Fuego's
God,
sitting
when did
there
Miro become Bible Man?
I wouldn't mind if he wore Bible Man themed gear once. I think that'd be free.
I am like 3 for 3 and like jokes with you this evening.
You're a funny fuck. But
Hey! I'm a gentle fuck. I make sure there's chocolate and rose petals everywhere. There's wine.
You're good at what you do. What can I say?
You set me perfectly up for that one, bud.
Yeah. But after the match, Sammy Guevara's music hits, and him and Tony Khan come out. They chat it up on the stage for a few seconds, and then Sammy gets on the mic, and he says to Fuego, you fought hard, but you lost. But don't worry, because sometimes there's victory in defeat. And because I am your best friend, I wanted to be the first person to tell you, Fuego del Sol is all elite. And he gives him the contract, and Fuego's tearing up under the mask, and they hug, and the crowd goes wild.
And it was a
just
shoot.
Sweet. Yeah.
Fuego didn't know this was happening.
There were some news outlets that said otherwise, but you know what? Meltzer and SRS both said it was a shoot, so...
Fuego said it was a shoot.
Yeah, Fuego was like retweeting those articles going, you're full of shit. And then later on Sammy's vlog this week, there was like a bunch of footage of him coming backstage and like breaking down and everybody hugging him and being like, congratulations.
Yeah. It's just really good. Also, it gives Miro something to talk about against Fuego.
Yeah.
As he talks about later on in Dynamite this week. Which is fun, which is cool. But after that match, we had a Dynamite rundown of the next week's show. Nothing new, nothing gained there. Just, hey, by the way, watch our other show. Sting and Darby are in the rafters. You know,
They
classic
look
Sting stuff.
so fucking cool. Sting still knows how to do the look, and Darby was freaking had the red nail polish, which looked badass.
No, he had gloves with acrylic nails on them. But then we have the main event.
Mark Henry interviewed the two contenders, and it was basically main event hype up stuff. And after a commercial break, we went into Red Velvet versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Reba Not Rebel for the AEW Women's World Championship. I thought this match was okay, mostly carried by the crowd.
I say it's a little bit better than that because I thought Red Velvet looked really good and really competent, and like, I want to see more of her.
Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't feel like the crowd hijacked the match, but it feels like they had a completely different narrative from what was going on in the ring, which I kind of expected, given that it's Britt's hometown.
Yeah.
But I also expected it would match up a little better, you know?
To an extent, but like they knew what was gonna happen. So Red did play heel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Britt played face a little bit. So it wasn't like a Roman Reigns situation where everybody wants to boo him because they don't like him, and they're like, look at he's a baby face.
No, this is our hometown girl. We're gonna cheer for her even though she's a heel.
Yeah. And AEW was like, yeah, we understand that, so we're gonna lean into it this week, but she's still a dick, so there's a post-match beatdown.
Look, it's Britt's parents in the crowd. Adam Cole is not here. Shut up.
No. Hey, Britt Baker's boyfriend is watching at home.
But,
I sincerely want him to come to AEW with the gimmick of being a sugar baby.
I did see somebody post a Photoshop All Elite graphic of him in like nurses scrubs, and I was like, you're doing this as like a derogatory joke of, oh, AEW would ruin him, but like, I'd low-key love this.
No, like, I would love if Adam Cole comes in and goes like, hey, I can be a dickhead. Of course I can. I can buy my way out of anything. My girlfriend's a dentist. Do you know how much money they make? Jesus.
Like, he's a bigger heel than the Bucks. He's a heel to the Bucks, who are heels.
Hey, my girlfriend will pay for it. Don't worry about it. Like, he's that kind of guy. Don't worry, my girlfriend will pay for it.
Oh yeah, you guys tried to kill me. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. We're totally cool. Throws their Air Jordans out a window. Don't worry, my girlfriend will pay for it. Walks out of the room.
And then they talk to Britt Baker, and she goes like, "Okay, cool. Talk to Reba. She'll be the one to help you figure all this stuff out." And she goes like, "All right, cool. You got to sign this paper, and you got to take it to Jamie Hayter." Yeah, and it's just a giant circle, and it's just giving them the runaround.
Yeah, that's the Bucks' storyline for like 4 weeks.
We just want our money for the shoes back. Oh yeah, no, we're never giving you that.
But yeah, the match does end.
We're never giving you that. It's not covered in your insurance. Because she's a doctor.
Yeah. Okay, so this match ends with Red Velvet tapping out in the lockjaw, as you'd expect. But then
mirrored lockjaw, because they were working over the arm and she used the other arm. It was nice.
Yeah. And then after the match, Britt tries to just beat down Red Velvet a little more with the belt, and then Chris Statlander runs out for the save. But before she can really get any momentum in, somebody in a bunch of black workout gear comes in from the crowd, and because for a few minutes all you could see was red hair, I dead-ass thought it was Becky Lynch.
Oh.
I was like, what the shit? And then finally, after she took off her hood, commentary said, it's Jamie Hayter. And I was like, she has changed her look a lot, but all right, let's go. I loved Jamie Hayter when she had her brief stint in 2019.
Yeah. But now she's back in an official full capacity. She
She's
is all
signed,
elite. Yep.
and
Uh,
she's now Brit's heater,
yeah.
which, I was one of the people who was really hoping it was going to be the Iconics, but Jamie Hayter is a nice surprise instead.
I think it's understandable to want the Iconics. I think the Iconics work better as a verbal heater, as like promo heat magnets, and Britt Baker doesn't need one of those. She
Yeah.
needs a physical version of that. Because she can generate enough heat with her promos as it is. You know
He
who the
needs-
Iconics should work with? Nyla
Who?
Rose.
Ooh.
Because they can be the squawky little, like, vocal people, and Nyla can just be the big badass.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work. But no, from here on out, Jamie Hayter is basically going to be the Jake Hager to Britt's Chris Jericho.
Yep. It's not a bad place for her to be, especially because they're already basically showing, like, she's here to help, and she's a friend, but she's not fully bought into everything, as we'll see in Dynamite this week.
And just to close out, I think the first episode of Rampage was pretty solid. I really enjoyed the booking for the most part. Some things like the commentary and whatnot feel a little rough, but honestly, from the first episode, it feels like they have a lot of it down pretty pat, and that's because they're using a lot of the same equipment and people as Dynamite. But that's also my biggest problem with it. There's not enough different branding on this to differentiate it from Dynamite. This literally just feels like a third hour of Dynamite.
And honestly, I'm okay with that because it is separated. There is a little bit of breathing room. There is that kind of like, oh man, I want a little bit more. And then you come to Friday and it's like, oh, here's some more. And it's like, oh, nice. You know, I'm okay with it. I understand the complaint, and I think there's only so much you can do with trying to keep travel costs within budget and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more like slight changes and adjustments to the way Rampage works as it goes on. And the show is in its infancy.
Yeah, like there's also the fact of like they are also probably doing a lot of like Dark Elevation and Rampage filmings
Yeah.
because it's only 1 hour. That seems like a kind of a crappy ticket for anybody seeing it live. So like Dark Elevation, which is more important than Dark regular because it is like jobber like
Well, Rampage broadcasts at 10, so I wouldn't be surprised if the gate, much like for Dynamite, is like 7:30, and until Rampage starts, they're just filming dark matches.
yeah, Dark and
like,
Dark Elevation.
Yeah, come whenever you're ready. We just want people in here for the dark matches.
Yeah. But overall, I think Rampage is good. I think the first episode was good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think what's really going to solidify Rampage is tomorrow. God damn it, because we've gotten.
I don't know if my mic's picking it up, but for the listeners, I'm breathing heavily.
Yeah, because oh boy, it's not.
If it, like, here's the thing, and we'll probably need to talk about this again before we end.
Yep.
But if it happens, it will be the biggest moment in wrestling this year. And if it doesn't happen, a lot of people are going to rage quit AEW.
Yeah,
And
but
I'm going to give them a huge verbal slap on the wrist.
But here's the thing: at this point in time, I like CM Punk has made jokes about it, and not in the like, oh, haha, you dumb assholes. He has made one version of that, but every other joke he has told implies like, yeah, no, I'm gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and just yesterday, we got reports from people at TNT who said that the TNT production office is excited about CM Punk and they want to give him a huge promotional push.
And AEW wouldn't lie to them like that.
Mhm.
No, they wouldn't, because that would be dangerous business practices.
Yeah. And like the last time we heard anything about the way TNT felt about stuff, TNT was chastising them for making Sting a surprise because they would have wanted to promote that.
Yeah, and I think this might have been partially an experiment to see what they can do to promote a surprise reveal.
Mhm.
Because, like, this has been the most subtle of unsubtle hints.
Yeah. It's basically been the equivalent of the MCU seeding the Infinity Stones throughout the early movies without ever saying this is coming.
You know what? No, you know what this is? This is Captain America Winter Soldier, and the dude just going, like, yeah, we look for Stephen Strange. It's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of thing where it.
By the way, just because I almost never get the chance to correct the Marvel fanboy, it was Agent Sitwell saying we are keeping tabs on Stephen Strange.
Yeah. I just didn't fucking remember his name. And here's the other
uh,
thing: he's a fucking Hydra agent. Fuck him. He's a Nazi.
oh yeah, fuck that guy. But moving on, uh, something fun happened in the world of wrestling over the weekend, which is, and
Let's be.
I'm sorry
Okay.
to put it. I'm sorry to put it this way because people did get on to me for saying this, but to most people, anything outside of AEW or WWE is an indie. Ric Flair made his return to the indies this weekend.
I mean, it's the main one of the main promotions in Mexico. That's like
Mm-hmm.
saying New Japan's an indie.
Yeah, but like to most people who only know WWE, New Japan would be an indie.
Should we?
It's a stupid argument. I'm just covering my ass for something I said in a Discord chat that people who listen to this don't even fucking know about. But god damn it. So Andrade El Idolo was going after the AAA Super Mega Double Combo featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series championship at
Turbo.
Triple Mania, which is Mexican WrestleMania. And if you don't know, because they don't always say it on Dynamite, Kenny Omega is the current triple mega super ultra deluxe combo with fries and a shake champion.
Turbo.
And yeah, and
Can't forget the Turbo.
as a bit of a surprise, Ric Flair showed up to support his new son-in-law and actually came to the ring with him. And I wasn't planning to watch the match because I was pretty sure that Andrade would lose because Kenny. I've been vehement, even with what happened with Christian this week. I've been vehement the whole way through. Kenny's keeping all his belts until Hangman gets the world title, gets the AEW title. But I went and watched this match because Ric Flair came, and it was fucking great. Ric Flair did his whole strut to the ring woo thing. They were all into it. Kenny did a mock thing and then like pretended his back hurt as a way of making fun of Ric Flair. And then there was a false finish of Andrade and Rick doing first chops back and forth to Kenny, and then stereo figure fours. Andrade hitting Kenny and Rick hitting Michael Nakazawa with the figure four
Oh
in the
man, that Michael Nagasawa must be so fucking happy. I got a figure 4 from Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking sick.
But ultimately, Kenny did end up retaining the title, and this is actually turned into a bit of a huge backstage story that's been developing over the last few nights because apparently what had happened was the plan was actually for Kenny to drop the title to Andrade, but then when the decision was made for Christian to pick up the Impact title for a little bit in order to gain heat for the match at All Out,
Mhm.
um, Tony Khan kindly asked the heads of AAA, can you hold off on Kenny losing that title for a little bit? Because we don't want him seeming like a total loser going into our biggest show. And AAA was like, yeah, that's fine. And then Kenny got there, and nobody knew Ric Flair was going to be at the show. Like, literally, it was a spur of the moment decision on Ric's part. And so Kenny was like, Ric Flair's here. We got to get him involved in the match, and I got to drop the title tonight. And then AAA put their foot down and said, no, you're retaining.
Okay, that's, you know what? I appreciate Kenny Omega for like, oh no, this is a big thing. We should do it. Like, that's kind of cool. And I also really, like, I really appreciate how these two companies weren't being big dicks and go like, no, our storyline's more important. No, it was like, hey, we have this situation. We're trying to do it like this. Would you kindly play along? Yeah, we'll play along. We'll work with you.
And then it's just so hilarious because we talk all the time about how WWE never does this stuff. And then there's the other ripple to this storyline, which is, even though she didn't come out, Charlotte was there too. Charlotte was backstage at Triple Mania to support her husband, and apparently she skipped a WWE house show she was booked in the main event for to make it happen.
In Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. And there were We Want Charlotte chants in Charlotte.
Buddy boy. This is...
Like, it really shows how much leniency there is towards Charlotte that she was able to do that and feel like there's going to be no consequences. And so far, we haven't heard about any consequences. There may have been, there may still be, but, like, it seems so far that WWE just let her get away with that.
It definitely feels like, in part, that there may be some cracks forming in just WWE in general.
There's a lot of weird behind the scenes news and rumors that have been going on this week that we're not going to talk about because we're trying to limit talking about WWE on the show from now on unless something really cool happens on an actual show.
But also, speaking of Ric Flair, did you see the Ric Flair trending on Twitter?
Bro, I went to my lunch break yesterday in the middle of that.
Oh god.
Because hey, guess what, everybody? Nobody has ever had to say to Ric Flair, it's 2020, Grandpa, we eat ass now. Because Ric Flair was caught eating ass in Mexico.
From everything I've seen, that wasn't Ric Flair. That was just some guy who looks like him.
Oh, okay.
Because it was on a train. Why would Ric Flair be riding a train?
Why would Ric Flair be doing anything? Because he's Ric fucking Flair.
Yeah, but this is...
Ric Flair is one of the few actual humans who can get away with the because I'm Batman.
True. I don't think it was Ric Flair. I think there was some like evidence of it wasn't him.
Alright.
I don't know for certain. But in the meantime, I know what is for certain, that you watched BTE and Sammy vlog.
Yeah, these were pretty solid this week. God damn, this is like the third week in a row that I can't remember anything that happened on BTE. I know it was good. I think some story advanced. I don't remember what exactly. The only thing that's coming to me at the moment is there was a pretty hilarious bit where Peter Avalon tried to get Leva Bates back again. Mm-hmm. He did like the boombox thing. And it was
your eyes, to be your eyes.
But here's why it was funny, BT funny. There's nothing coming out of the boombox, and he's standing like 20 feet away, and Leva is like, what are you doing? And he's like, it's our entrance music. Because remember, they used to come out to no music and just shush the crowd.
Yep.
And then he's like, will you get back with me? And then because, sad storyline, Alex Reynolds comes out and just puts his arm around her, and they both shake their head at him and walk away.
Are they dating in real life?
I don't think so, or at least I haven't heard. No, they definitely aren't because Alex Reynolds is married.
Okay. It's okay, storyline thing. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was all happening, and I think there was something with the Elite, but it's just not coming to me. Um, and then on Sammy blog, like I said, it was very much centered around the fact that Fuego got signed. A lot of lead into that. A lot of Sammy talking about keeping it a secret. Apparently, him, Tony, and like two other people were the only people who knew. And then there was just like a really magical moment of him coming backstage and everybody like hugging him and telling him congrats. And the I swear the funniest thing on either vlog this week was when during the whole sequence of everybody hugging Fuego and telling him congrats, as it's ending, the camera just pans over to QT Marshall and Aaron Solo, who are just standing there with their arms crossed and with like looks of disbelief, going, "We have to deal with this fucking asshole forever now? Are you kidding me?" And Aaron Solo's like, "This is bullshit," and QT is like, "Damn right it is. I'm gonna go see if I can get out of my contract." But no, it was really sweet, and I don't know, solid YouTube content this week, except for Dark and Elevation because I'm not gonna watch fucking an extra 2 hours, an extra 4 hours of wrestling in a week.
Yeah, it can get a little exhaustive, and you know what would make Dark and Elevation 10 times better? If they
What?
just separated all the fucking matches.
Yeah, and they were doing that for a long time with Dark, and they just stopped doing it halfway through the pandemic.
Just like every single match, so I can just like pick 4 or 5 of them and just watch the
And
ones I want.
just like, oh, this tag team had a match. I like that tag team. I'll watch this match real quick.
Oh,
Or like, oh,
these indie guys were in Dark. Cool, I want to see them.
mhm. Or, oh, I heard something happened at the end of this match. I'll watch this one specifically. Like, recently there was a match booked of Sunny Kiss
Mm-hmm.
wrestling somebody, and then they used it. The match didn't actually happen. They used it to turn Joey Janela heel.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Janela came back to AEW and attacked Sunny Kiss during their entrance, and I'm like, so what's happening with that? Where is that going? Did we just do that because their tag team was going nowhere? Because like remember back when they were hyping that up on Dynamite, and we've heard nothing about them since.
It seemed like it might have been just like bad timing. Something may have happened in one of their
Mhm.
lives, and it's just like,
Yeah. Well, Joey, I follow Joey Janela on Twitter. He's been super active on the Indies all year.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just likes
Ooh.
working around more than just working in one place.
Yeah, I get the feeling he's at AEW as more of like a custodial type role.
Yeah, kind of like hey, you've been in the indies forever. Here's a major place on TV that you can wrestle at. We
Yeah.
respect you that way.
Yeah, and also could you be our liaison to these free promotions that you frequent?
I mean, it's not a bad rub. It's not a bad thing to do. But we've been going on about for, let me look at the time, about 40 minutes. I think it might be a good idea to top off some liquids, go to the bathroom, and come back and then talk about last night's Dynamite.
Sounds excelente.
All right, we'll be right back, folks.
Yeah. We're back to discuss AEW Dynamite 8/18/2021 from the Ferrita, I think that's how you pronounce that, center in Houston, Texas.
The
And
frito. Frittata.
Frittata?
Frittata. No, that's a
Frittata
dish. This
is
is
the Frittata Center.
frittata.
All right.
Frittata
So,
patata.
So this episode opens up with an advertised promo segment from Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, but before the boys can make their way to the ring, they are attacked in the crowd by 2.0 and Danny Garcia, which then leads directly into them calling out their opponents for the night. And so your opening contest is 2.0 with Danny Garcia versus the Icon Sting and Darby Allin in a Texas Tornado tag match.
Hell yeah. Sting went a little old school TNA there for a little bit.
Yeah, holy crap, they got way outside.
For people who don't know the joke, when Sting was in TNA, he wasn't in the best shape. So oftentimes his matches would be him brawling into the crowd, coming back to the ring, doing a move or two, and then ending the match.
It was I don't mind, one of my big favorite wrestling tropes is brawling into the crowd, but I like it like midway through a match. When you start a match that way, it's a little like, okay, this gonna be more an angle than a match? And this wasn't that, but they spent an exorbitant amount of time up in that lobby section that just looked weirdly empty.
It looked like a movie theater lobby.
It really did.
I was expecting to see like fucking Area 51 and Time Crisis.
And just Sting body slams somebody into a popcorn machine.
Dude.
But no, they do eventually make their way back to the ring, and we get a bit of a Darby hot tag, and then Sting tags right back in to get tossed into a table, and then with like a double slam down into a table in the ring, and then he immediately just stands back up to a huge pop. I like that recurring trend in Sting matches in AEW. They've done that twice now. Of just like young guys underestimating Sting's resilientness.
Oh yeah. It's good. It works, especially with a character like Sting,
whose whole gimmick is like he keeps coming back to avenge this certain spirit of wrestling. And Sting then beats up both the boys and gets them both to tap out in a double scorpion deathlock, which looked way cooler than it had any right to.
Oh yeah, it looked fucking great. It looked good. Darby looked good. Sting looked good. This just feels like it was done to build up momentum to a thing that might be happening tomorrow.
Yeah. I was surprised there wasn't any mention of being the best in the world on commentary.
There was one later. But there wasn't a lack of Punk hints this episode.
Yeah.
So, also 2.0 is just getting a lot of fucking good shit.
Yeah, they came in like a bolt of lightning, and they've really proved themselves to the point where it was announced they're signed earlier today.
Oh yeah. Especially when you realize that only like a month ago they were let go of NXT.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that long. It was barely that long ago. And now they're in they're in marquee matches with icons like Sting and one of the most prominent upper mid cards to main eventers in Darby.
You really get the feeling that Tony does watch NXT. And he was like, oh, you don't want those guys anymore? All right, I fucking loved what you were doing with those guys, so I'm just take them and do fucking awesome stuff with them.
Yeah, and they started their own YouTube show.
Oh, did they? What kind of thing is that?
I don't know. I haven't watched it, but I watched some of Dark Elevation in one of their matches where they won.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure they won. Yeah, they won. And the joke was, Tony Schiavone says, literally, And by the way, 2.0 wanted us to tell you about their new YouTube show, The Show. There's your shout out. That's all we will be doing. It was good.
I love Tony Schiavone's fucking like disheveled dad energy. It's the
Oh yeah.
best.
But speaking of happy family moments, Sammy Guevara, before Dynamite had gone on the air, had went out to the ring and proposed to his girlfriend.
Yeah, it's
It was
cute.
nice, sweet, wholesome, but there wasn't the pressure of being on live national TV, so it was at least a little bit considerate.
Yeah, though they advertised it without advertising it the last couple weeks.
Yeah. But then we get a promo from Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard basically going like, hey, you got a fiance. We're gonna try and cuck ya.
Because we're from WWE. That was a fucking cheap shot. I'm sorry.
No, but it was basically, hey, we're being slimy to get heat. Boo us.
I did like the way they did it. It was a very cleverly crafted promo of Sean saying, when you're in the pinnacle, you're always on top, but because it's your special night, I'm going to do Pam a favor and let her be on top.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about do you want me to initiate the match, or do you want to do the match?
Yeah, go into it. Go ahead.
So then we go straight into Sammy Guevara versus Sean Spears, and what is a pretty fucking good match. I really enjoyed it.
This was a great match. This felt like these guys really giving it their all to really put over that this is because Sammy's been saying it for the last few days leading up to this, that he was going to end it here. So this does feel like the final match in their specific feud within the Pinnacle and Inner Circle.
There's a lot of good moments. The one everybody's talking about is when they both jump onto the top ropes and do a collar and elbow.
Yeah.
And then
move. No, you move. No, you move. No, you move.
And then Sean just goes like, middle finger.
Yeah.
And then Sammy goes like, all right, you fucker. And one of the best fucking cutters I've ever seen.
Yeah, that cutter was so good. I also love the bit where Sammy just like fucking punt kicks Sean to the outside and he slams into the barricade.
Wait. Sammy Guevara did a cutter and a punt kick? Are we sure we're watching Sammy and not Randy Orton?
Well, no, Randy Orton doesn't do cutters. He does RKOs.
Find me a significant difference between a diamond cutter and an RKO.
One is accompanied by the phrase out of nowhere, and one isn't because it doesn't need to be.
But Sammy couldn't win with the cutter. So after a few more moves, he gets Sean up on his shoulders and does a go to hell.
Yeah,
which is a variation of a move known as the go to sleep.
And I'm pretty sure he ruptured a blood vessel in Sean's head too, because Sean was bleeding out of his like eyelash, and there was blood all over Sammy's knee.
Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sean's okay. He's good.
I haven't heard otherwise, so I assume he's fine.
Yeah. But again, another little homage reference to one Siamanthy Manthamy Punketh.
Yeah, Charles Matthews Punk.
I'm trying to think of any other CM things.
Greg Morrow Punk.
Code Miko Punk.
Kathmandu Punk.
But yeah, but that was a match. It was good. It was really fucking good. Solid.
Yeah, it was a good match. I like it.
Yeah.
Then we go backstage and we see Tony Schiavone trying to get a word with Christian Cage about being the new Impact champion. And Don Callis comes in and basically does his shtick of being an asshole and going like, look at you, Christian. we're both right back where we started. Remember when I gave you your first gig? Like, look at you. You're still out here climbing the ladder, and I'm right back where I was back then at the top of the wrestling business. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Like he says, nothing has changed like 5 times to hammer home to Christian that like, yo, you may have gotten Kenny's title, but you're still a little bitch compared to me because I make the big bucks.
Right. Um, and then Christian ends the whole promo by just calling Don Callis a carny piece of shit. And I'm starting to get a little tired of carny piece of shit as the immediate go-to insult.
Yeah, but like it just works.
It Here's the thing, it works, but it's like it feels like it's being used a little too much.
It's the wrestling version of calling somebody an asshole. Like we say it so much in the modern lexicon that it doesn't have the punch it used to, which is why a lot of people have now gone to motherfucker.
Right. But like it's just more of the idea of like it is such a specific insult and it's been used a lot recently with Don Callis, with Matt Hardy.
It was used with Chris Jericho back at the start of Dynamite. Or no, actually Cody called him a carny succubus.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's like it is a hyper specific insult that they have used multiple times. Like if it was only one person that people just keep calling that, it'd be a little bit better. But I think
Yeah.
it's just like it's such a hyper specific focused insult that to keep repeatedly using it for multiple different people by multiple different people, it doesn't feel like an insult, it feels like a catchphrase.
Fair enough.
I'm not
But
saying don't get rid of it. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm just saying like ease up a little
yeah. Pull
because
back on the clutch.
it's starting to ring in my ears like Roman Reigns calling someone a bitch.
I thought for a second there, I thought you were going to say it's starting to come off like Roman Reigns saying, believe that.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like Roman Reigns would just repeatedly call people a bitch just because it's a little bit edgier. He could get away with it.
It's about the edgiest thing you can call somebody in WWE these days.
Yeah, but like carny piece of shit just kind of doesn't have. It just rings hollow to an extent, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. But after that, we get a bit of a hype package for Dante Martin, basically just going like, "Hey, last week he did some awesome shit. This kid's an up and comer. Keep an eye on him."
I feel a little sad for his brother who's injured.
Yeah, hopefully we get him back soon.
But it's just like they're doing so much work with Dante Martin right now, and it's just like, oh man, his brother's going to be so behind in terms of like effort and energy put behind him.
Yeah, they've Jeff Hardy'd them a little bit, haven't they?
I wouldn't go that far yet. I will wait till he comes back and we see what they do before I go, oh yeah, no, they're Jeff and Matting it, you know.
Because, like, here's the thing Dante's still been in a lot of tag matches. He's primarily just tagging with other people. So you get the feeling that, like, as soon as Darius is back, they just want to throw them both back into that tag title chase.
And I think when that kind of happens, they're probably going to have Dante be more of the heat magnet.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. It's just more of like, oh man, I'm thinking about his bro and going like, oh man.
And I mean, it's not like they've forgotten about him because he's not there. Because from what I've seen from like backstage video and stuff like that, Darius is still going every week. He's just not able to wrestle.
He's also probably getting some physical therapy and stuff from in-house AEW doctors, you know.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like another thing we don't say nearly enough that makes AEW better than WWE, in my opinion, is like if you're injured, they don't just make you wait at home. They'll have you still keep on the loop. Like Anna Jay was at home for like a month and a half, and then she got back on the loop. She's still traveling with them.
You stay home when you need bed rest.
Mm-hmm. If you can be here, please be here.
please be here, because you'll be talking with people, you'll be learning, you'll be engaging with the ideas, engaging with creative thoughts that might be needed.
Like Chris Statlander was backstage just hanging out for like 3 months before she re-debuted after that injury.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back into the show, we go back out to the ring and we get a promo from Dan Lambert. Lambert.
The most boomer-ass boomer promo.
Yeah, but do you understand the reference I was making there?
Smash?
Splinter Cell.
Mm.
There's a character called Lambert in there, and Sam Fisher says it like in a very funnily specific way. Like, Lambert. But
all I know of Splinter Cell is a really sad cutscene where he was going like, "Oh man, there used to be a guy with a headband. I heard he retired now." And he was like, "Oh, I'm the only one left," because he was talking about Snake and classic stealth characters. He was like, he was the only one left.
Dan Lambert, he's out there with some UFC boys, and he basically just goes, cancel culture. Lance Archer tried to cancel me, but I was speaking the truth about how AEW is bad. And, oh god, here comes Lance Archer again. But sucks to be you, I almost said TH2. I don't know how I was going to rhyme that into it, but fucking Sky and Paige are here, the men of the year.
Yeah.
And they beat up Lance, and Jake's nowhere to be found, but they beat up Lance, and that's the segment.
I mean, fine enough.
I don't know. I want to like Dan Lambert because the promos he's cutting, well, they're pretty simple and to the point. They're working. And like people ever since that first one aired, I've seen people saying like, "Oh yeah, if you haven't seen, he was amazing as Bobby Lashley's manager in TNA." So I'm trusting that this is gonna get really good. It's just right now, it's just kind of okay to me. And also because UFC people are constantly with him, I'm just like, so are any of those people gonna wrestle, or are they just here for marquee value? Because I don't give a shit.
I mean, other people give a shit.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's not. This storyline isn't really for us. It's to rope in more casuals.
Yep. No, the storyline tomorrow is for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But, and then we get one last promo from Christopher Jericho talking about the match coming up and what a big challenge it is. Just basically saying, yo, I'm ready. Call me SpongeBob because I'm ready. And that was it.
Also, I'm not coming out to my theme. By the way, I'm not coming out to my theme, guys. My theme. Remember my theme?
AEW's been saying on Twitter, AEW posted the lyrics to the theme on Twitter. You better have them printed out.
But then we have a tag team championship match between Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and the Young Bucks. This was fun.
This was really fun. I love how right away they put over how intimidating the crowd of the Elite is. Because the Bucks come out and Tony Schiavone is immediately going, how many fucking people are here? Because you got the Bucks, then you got the Good Brothers, who are still the Impact Tag Champions. You got Knock, you got Cutler, and you got Don, who is carrying the AEW World Title. What?
No, it's. I'm just like going like, yeah, no, it's fucking the numbers.
Mm-hmm. And Jurassic Express is basically like they really use the team to their full advantage of having Jungle Boy in there as like a solid in between worker. With I almost said Jurassic Express again. Luchasaurus is kind of like the House of Fire, and Marco as just like the little runt running around on the outside, running interference with everybody.
Yep, and it works really well. It was just a fun match. A lot of fun, cool spots. Jungle Boy off the shoulders of Luchasaurus.
Mm-hmm. Luchasaurus taking out both Bucks repeatedly.
Oh yeah, I love the fucking kicks Luchasaurus does. The tail whip.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. We got to get him versus Malachi at some point.
Oh god. No, it just turns into one piece and they kick at each other, but it's like, and
Yeah,
they
they
don't
kick.
even connect.
You know what? I'm normally not in favor of this kind of shit, but like that would be the one match where I'm like, yo, rig the ring to implode. Just they kick each other and the ring just caves in out of sheer awesomeness.
That'd be fun. But eventually, the Bucks pin Jungle Boy after doing a very quick and very like, shit, they're close. Let's just end this as quick as we can. BTE trigger.
Yeah, very solid, very good. I enjoyed this match quite a bit. However, I'm gonna be honest. From this point on, this show kind of turns into a big old cluster for me.
Yeah, it's not the most tight thing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of backstage stuff coming up. Starting off with Tony Schiavone talking to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. It's basically just a little segment to give Jamie Hayter some promo time and introduce everybody to her new character, which is, hey, her and Britt were friends on the Indies, and Britt was having trouble. So when she alluded to needing help, she called Jamie, and Jamie came.
And she's a tough lady, and she doesn't
With
do
an
the taunt.
accent.
Yeah, fine enough promo. It gets her across. It doesn't get her over, but it gets her known.
Yeah. I like, here's the thing. I like Jamie Hayter. I'm predisposed to liking Jamie Hayter. It's just, I'm kind of sitting here going like, so what are we going to do with her? Where's this going? Come on.
I mean,
give me a match.
she is a blonde muscle lady right now.
She's a redhead.
She from my screen it looked blonde.
No, she's a redhead, dude. She's got Becky Lynch red hair. But
I do not fucking remember that. Oh, hold on.
well, she also just recently changed her look because it used to be like half dyed black, half dyed orange. Like back when she did her 2019 run, that was her look. And like my big thing is I want the way she worked in those matches back because like one of my favorite things from early Dynamite was Jamie Hayter in a match against, I can't remember who, but it was a Joshi, and she just kept beating the shit out of the Joshi on the outside, and she would like smack her and then go, "Oh, Daijobu," and then smack her again and do it again. Like it was one of the best chop variations I'd seen.
I'm just double checking because my brain just was like, oh, strawberry blonde.
Yeah, which isn't my kind of blonde. I'm more kind of like a golden kind of lemon kind of guy.
Because hold on, son of a bitch, go where I want you to. Like, you can see how I would think that would be blonde.
Yeah, it's got kind of like blonde highlights in the front, I guess.
Just admit that I'm right. Just admit that I'm right.
I had to listen to an older episode of Components where you made me do that. I'm not doing that again today.
What episode are you fucking talking about, bro?
The one where we argued about which Willy Wonka had which grandpa.
It wasn't me arguing that I was right. I was right.
Yes, and I did admit you were right then. I'm just not going to admit you're right now. The only person who needs to admit that he's right is not Matt Hardy, because he's fighting Orange Cassidy, and they're probably going to put Orange over.
Hell yeah. But we also may be getting some brokenness. Here's hoping.
You know I want it. You know what I would love? Orange beats him, and like Matt kind of fades into the background of the HFO and just starts losing it little by little. We just get little hints, like each Dynamite or Rampage going forward, and then lead up to Dynamite before Halloween. Matt's like completely lost it, and he's like, "I've called in a favor to deal with the best friends," and the lights in the arena go out, and they come back out, and they come back up, and Bray's got a new mask.
Oh, hey, Bray. He can't
Mhm.
be called Bray Wyatt though.
Yeah, he'll be Wyndham.
That almost sounds fucking creepier. Wyndham.
Yeah, Wyndham Rotunda.
No, don't use that last name. Just Wyndham.
Wyndham. What's another word for fiend that he could use?
Nemesis?
The freak.
I don't know.
Oh well. Then we got a segment where Tony Schiavone talked to Paul White in the ring and thanked him for coming to his assistance last week. And Paul White was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then QT and his boys came out and they went, "Yo, bitch, you're a bitch. You attacked us when we weren't ready, bitch. To fight us, bitch. And here's pictures of your surgery, bitch." And
It was all through the vein of like, oh man, you're so brave for coming out and fighting us because look at all the shit your hip went through, you old busted piece of shit.
mhm. And Paul White goes, "Yeah, I went through all that so I could get ring ready again because I want to wrestle here. And guess what? I'm ring ready again. And my first match is at All Out. And after talking to Tony Khan earlier, it's with you." And QT, my favorite segment of my favorite thing on this whole fucking show was the reaction of QT. The fucking face he made was priceless.
It's good. He's a good lower mid card heel.
Yeah. He's you know what he is? He's the modern AEW equivalent to what Jake the Snake was in Golden Era WWE. Like he's never gonna win the championship. He's not a massive threat, but in his own storyline, he's taken seriously as a big asshole.
Yep. But then we have a little promo package from Smart Mark and Jade Cargill. I love how Mark is just going like, hey, PR. I know you don't like this person, but PR, remember, you need to be polite.
Yeah, it's great because it's literally just him doing a slightly turned up version of his personality from the Major Pod, where Brian just doesn't give a shit and Matt is completely hyperbolic and he's always trying to mediate them.
But basically, just hyping up Jade Cargill. Oh, what's Jade gonna do? It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Then Tony Schiavone talks to the Elite. I don't remember this promo segment.
Okay, so they're flipping out and talking about like, haha, we
Oh,
beat the
now I remember.
Jurassic Express. Yeah, we're gonna go on, and they had teased this in their bio that they posted that day, of just like, yo, we're gonna beat these young kids who aren't ready for the titles yet, and then we're gonna fuck off to Hawaii for a month. And
Uh,
they said that, and then Tony was like, "Well, it's funny you should say that because I just talked to Tony Khan, and he said that what we're doing instead is there's going to be a tag team tournament on the next few episodes of Dynamite and Rampage, leading to a tag team championship match between you and the winners at All Out in a steel cage because we're sick of you having the fucking everyone interfering with your matches."
what? It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
It's probably
should
gonna
be
be
interesting.
Jurassic Express or it's gonna be Lucha Pros.
Yeah, we might get a surprise. It might be Private Party because the Bucks really like Private Party and they put them over a few times before.
Yeah, but that'd be heel versus heel.
Yeah, and also Brian Alvarez on Observer this morning said that like he's pretty sure that Jurassic Express losing here was set up for them getting the titles at All Out.
It could be.
And I wouldn't mind that, but also like I kind of just want the Elite being completely dominant for another few months until we can pull the trigger on Hangman.
Yeah, because if they start losing now before Hangman gets the belt, it's not Hangman overcoming the odds. It's Hangman picking the bones.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
weird. We're gonna have to just hold tight and see how things play out.
Yeah. But speaking of holding tight, Ricky Starks is holding tight to the FTW Championship, and Taz is holding tight to his precious baby boy. As they go like, oh, hey, here's Brian Cage. And they're in the back, and there's Powerhouse Hobbs, and he's like, hey, we beat him up, whoa. And Brian Cage stands up, and they go like, oh, no. And then they go back, and it's like, yay.
I'm fucking sick of this storyline already. I want it over by All Out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sucks. I like all these guys, but like this infighting storyline is just not working for them.
Yeah.
Especially because it always feels shoved into Dynamite.
It does. There's no time to breathe. And honestly, I don't think there even could be time to breathe, because it is a pretty bare bones classic wrestling storyline.
Here's the thing. I think you could get some nuance into this, but they're being given like 7 minutes per Dynamite.
If that.
Yeah.
It's lackluster. I wouldn't say it's bad, it's just not good.
No. It has the skeleton of a good storyline. There's just not much meat on the bone.
The match itself will probably be fine. Probably be good.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the All Out pre-show.
Yeah. But next up, we have Tony Schiavone talking to Death Triangle, but then Andrade comes up and goes like, all right, fucker, we're going to have a match. Here's my list of demands. And it's just like a big old piece of paper.
Uh-huh.
It's
cool.
Fun gag.
Yeah. This, oddly enough, is like the inverse of the Team Taz thing, where it's like, it's a storyline that's only being given a little bit per Dynamite, but the little bit is enough.
Yeah. And then we have, up next, Penelope Ford versus Thunder Rosa in a pretty fun, cool match.
It was a solid AEW squash.
Yeah. But AEW squashes can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently Penelope Ford, luggage got lost, so she didn't have her ring gear. So she wrestled in her regular clothes. Yeah. Which honestly fucking looks pretty dope. It looks cool. It works for her character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she could just wrestle like that the whole time, and like, I wouldn't mind.
You can just say it. The top she was wearing was really tight. Like, more so than her wrestling gear.
No, it fit her character. And I'm thinking more of the leather pants. Next up, we have Tony Schiavone. He talks to the Andersons.
I finally got him to do one.
Tony Schiavone's talking to the Andersons. And Arn basically goes like, yeah, fucking Malachi. And then Tony goes like, yeah, Brock, you're fighting him. And Arn just looks at him and goes like, what the fuck you doing, boy? Don't do this. It ain't worth it. And Brock goes like, no, I'm a young, up-and-coming wrestle boy, and I need to prove my worth against the guy who fucking kicked my dad.
It's fucking hilarious to me, because it's literally just the same kind of shit they were doing back when Dustin started wrestling in WCW.
I mean, it works. If it worked once, it can work again.
Yeah.
Over's
the
over.
The only difference was Dusty was still ring ready at the time, so it eventually led to a tag team of father and son.
But no, I am looking forward to seeing what Malachi does to Brock Anderson.
Yeah, it's going to be a great AEW squash next week.
Oh, very much so.
Speaking of next week, we have the lineup for next week's Dynamite, which will be the Varsity Blondes versus the Lucha Bros, Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter, Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy, and Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson.
There's going to be some fun matches there. I just remembered something. When Kenny was interfering in the Jurassic Express and Young Bucks match, he was wearing a shirt that said Chick Magnet.
Yeah, Kenny's been wearing like some like notably stupid shirts lately to get attention on social media.
You do recognize why.
I'm not sure exactly what you're going for.
Last week was Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
This week was Chick Magnet.
Uh-huh.
CM.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two often jokes that CM Punk would say. What does the CM stand for? Oh, Chick Magnet. Cookie Monster.
I'm trying to think of a Marvel character with the initial CM.
Clobberman is the thing.
Oh man,
There's
dude.
probably a fucking mutant.
I can't wait to say the thing tomorrow night. But speaking of tomorrow night, the lineup for Rampage, the first dance, is Private Party versus Jurassic Express, Jade Cargill versus Kira Hogan, who apparently had a very good showing on both dark shows and is just recently released from Impact and maybe All Elite very soon. Ooh. And John Moxley versus Daniel Garcia.
That's gonna be fun. I've been liking Daniel Garcia. I like his technician style.
Yeah. Also, very interesting. They've been hinting at the thing. They've been hinting at the thing with Darby. Darby doesn't have a match on this card, so I'm really curious as to how they're going to make the thing happen if the thing is happening.
But we do have a first dance promo, and we do get one more hint with footage of Darby flying through the air and Excalibur going, "If you want to be the best in the world."
He specifically said Darby Allin is so close to being the best in the world.
Yep. But then we also have a Miro promo, basically calling out Fuego, going like, "Hey man, you took the easy way out. You lost. You shouldn't have gotten that champion. You shouldn't have gotten that contract, but you signed the pity one anyway. You are lesser of a man."
Yeah, which was pretty solid reaction.
And then he challenged Eddie Kingston.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Oh yeah, give me the punchies. Give me the.
And honestly, I know we booked the next TNT champion a while ago, but like, I mean, Eddie's never getting a world title here. But like, come on, give the Yonkers boy some gold.
Oh yeah.
No,
oh man, I wouldn't mind him after Malachi. Like, imagine Eddie Kingston Malachi. That'd be fun.
That'd be so good. But what else was so good? Jonathan Moxelton came to the backstage and cut a of a promo.
Oh yeah,
like literally the best promo on this Dynamite, the best promo on AEW in like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Of basically saying like, "Yo, I carried this company for months on my back. There's a lot you got to do to be one of the best here, and I am that." All that kind of jazz.
You really get the impression here, like just this wonderful reminder of his character. He is a true tweener. He doesn't give a fuck who you are. If you're in his way, he's gonna find some fault with you. Like he goes, "Oh, Christian and Kenny, who gives a shit about that? Hangman and his little pity club, who cares about that? This, that, and the other thing, who cares about that? Does anybody remember when I was carrying this whole company on my back through dark times less than 6 months ago? Does anybody still care? Well, I guess I'm going to have to make you care. I'm going to have to make an example out of Mr. Garcia next week."
Because it was also with the framing of Garcia wanting to challenge the best, and it's like, you don't know what you're asking for, essentially.
Because he also opened up with like, AEW has become the place where everybody comes. AEW is now the happening bar on the street, and everybody wants to come here. Everybody wants a little slice of the pie, but don't forget who was the first person in line.
Everybody wants a slice of the pie, but they forget who cuts it. No, it was a really fucking good promo. John's just firing all cylinders, really. When he fires, he fires.
Yeah.
But then we have the finale of this episode, which I'd say it picks up all the slack that the middle part kind of let go. MJF versus Chris Jericho in the final labor. Jericho is not allowed to use his ring entrance, and he's not allowed to use his current finisher, the Judas effect.
Yeah. Okay, can we just say that entrance was really clunky?
It was clunky at the first part. It cleaned up. It got clean.
As soon as you get to "What have I become," I think that was the moment where the whole crowd was finally on the same page.
Yeah. It was clean enough. It was clean enough. It was cleaner than I thought it would be.
It was cleaner than I thought it would be, but also it was definitely less clean than the announcers put it over as.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they literally said like, "Oh, this is an amazing moment that we'll never forget," and I was like, "This will be brought up whenever anybody talks about this feud," but I don't know if this is going to be like one of the best AEW moments of this year.
Yeah. But no, the match itself was fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Really solid work. Simplistic work. It wasn't big. It wasn't flippy. It was classic ground and pound kind of wrestle.
Yeah, because MJF is very much a wrestle boy. Like his style is very simplistic, and so to counter that, it feels like Jericho is doing everything but the Judas effect he can do to try and rout him. But of course, that doesn't quite work because all of these tricks are old tricks that everybody's seen 1,000 times, and MJF could have been studying old matches of all this time leading up to the match. And of course, he probably was in kayfabe and possibly also shoot. Who knows? But yeah, overall, it was a pretty solid match. I did. Was it this match or was it? No, 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 no. That was another match. I'll table that. But yeah, overall, just a solid match that leads into what I now realize is the inevitable, but they did have me going there for a bit. Not so much in this match specifically, but just in the feud overall. Uh, do you have anything else to say, or do you just want to go into the ending?
Um, I really liked how MJF was working over the arm. It was just classic psychology, that kind of stuff. And the
Hmm.
Fujiwara armbar, the Salt of the Earth, was a really cool finish.
Yeah. Um, Jericho tapped out to it, and I think a lot of people were really disappointed. The crowd came off like they were not expecting Jericho to lose, so they didn't really know how to react to him losing. But I think now that I've had, and initially I was kind of like, whoa, what? Okay, all right, I guess that works. But like, now that I've had a day to sort of sit with it, I think it was the natural and logical choice that we were probably always headed for because Jericho has devoted so much time in AEW to putting over MJF, and a lot of people throughout the company have put a lot of time into putting over MJF, and like it doesn't tarnish Jericho's legacy at all that
No.
he lost at this point. So it makes perfect sense that this feud ends with MJF going over.
Especially because MJF is the future of the company.
Yeah,
So, there's a
like
lot of. There was more good to come out of MJF winning than Jericho winning.
there's a part of me that still really thinks because I think MJF is about the same age as me. I really think after Kenny and after one or two more champs,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna pull the trigger on MJF as the heel champ, and MJF is gonna be AEW's Randy Orton of constantly going, "I'm the youngest world champ ever in this company."
I can see that. He can definitely pull that vibe off. And you know who pulls the belt off of him?
Jungle Boy.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I'd be up for that.
That's kind of like a fuck you for beating up my mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Anything else?
No, that was everything that's happened in the last week of wrestling.
Yeah, kind
But
of a calm. Other than Rampage, kind of a calm week.
calm before the storm, you could say.
This, I think, this last couple because we haven't been over the moon with these last few Dynamites.
Hmm.
They've been good. It's not bad. They're solid. They're what would you would
I don't want to say Dynamite's been on the back burner, but I feel like they've been not putting as much effort as they normally would into it because they've been busy getting Rampage ready. And I
busy
feel
getting
like
Rampage ready, busy signing certain talents. And also, they got kneecapped a little bit because certain events were outside of their control.
Yeah. But also, I feel like if tomorrow night goes the way we all think it's going to go, I feel like tomorrow night is going to be the kickoff of all of AEW running headfirst towards All Out with shit ton of awesome booking.
Yep. So, a solid show. Another B. Better than average, but not your A game.
Yeah. So, do we want to make any predictions for tomorrow night, or do we just want to wait and react to it next week?
My only prediction: it's the first thing in the show.
Really?
Because if you have a hot Chicago crowd and you just make them wait for the possibility of CM Punk, I don't care how much they love AEW, they're gonna hijack the show.
Fair enough.
I'd rather not take the risk if I was Tony, you know?
I'd have it be after the first match, at least. Like, give everybody a moment to settle in and let that anticipation build up a little bit. But I also understand your mentality.
Know who should go first? If we go with that idea, Private Party and Jurassic Express, where Private Party is healing it up, going like, "What the fuck are you chanting? Why are you chanting that? Fuck you."
Yeah.
Make the crowd want to chant CM Punk. It'd be at the expense of Jurassic Express, but they're over enough that they can get through it.
Mm-hmm. And then, without... yeah, I would say have Darby and Sting come out. Or no, have a backstage promo, have them talking to someone backstage, and then a hooded figure attacks them and they brawl towards the ring. And, like, when they're on the ramp, the hood gets pulled off.
See, here's the thing. You know damn well what they're gonna do. They're gonna play Cult of Personality to get the fucking pop.
Fair enough.
Because, come on, it's dan-da-da-dan.
Okay, so on Twitter, tomorrow morning, you say Darby Allin has a message for the AEW fans, and he's going to deliver it in the ring tonight on Rampage. So, first segment, Varsity Blondes versus, or not, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the Dynamite card.
Yeah.
First segment, Private Party versus Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express goes over, everybody's hype. Maybe get a quick backstage segment of something or other, and then cut back to the ring for Darby Allin and Sting's entrance. They do like promo for maybe 2 minutes, and then you get the pop.
Yeah.
Now, here's the big question to me. If this happens, because we got to treat it as an if until it happens.
Yep.
Do you think his first match back will be on the All Out card?
Yes.
Okay.
Darby.
In that case, I say Darby Allin versus CM Punk opens All Out.
Yeah, I can see that. No stipulations, just pure wrestling.
Just build it on, you think you're the best in the world, I'm going to take you down a peg.
CM Punk goes over.
But Darby looks strong in defeat. Like,
yeah.
do one of those matches where the young kid surprises the veteran with how good they are.
You do Darby's first match against Cody. Yeah. Other than the time limit draw. Like, you go that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. And that, like, having CM Punk on the All Out card would immediately make me, any worries I'd have about, like, oh man, it's getting kind of close and they haven't announced a ton of stuff. It'd make me go, oh, okay, cool, we're good.
Yeah. And also, you got to remember, All Out is currently sold out. All of their Chicago shows are already sold out. And that was another thing that was coming out of the TNT offices today, was that TNT is insanely impressed with them for selling out all those shows in Chicago, considering the current climate with the Delta variant and whatnot, because Chicago just put in a mask mandate.
Mm.
Everybody in the crowd tomorrow is going to be wearing masks, or
Fair enough.
should be wearing masks.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It it is hard. It's hard to be genuinely like, oh man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's one of those things where, you know what it fucking is? It's 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 a Christmas Eve when you think you saw the thing you asked your parents for in a shopping bag in the car, but you're not sure because you just caught the corner of it. And you're just like, I want to say it's going to be under the tree, but I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure till I open that present.
It's the idea of like a game gets delayed like several times, and the day is getting close when it's gonna actually be released, and you're just going like, it's gonna get delayed again. It's gonna get delayed again. It's been delayed several times. It's gonna get delayed again. It's a week from now. It's gonna get delayed. It's gonna be a week, and they're gonna delay it. Okay,
Yeah.
it's 5 days. They're gonna okay, 3 days. They gotta delay it. It's gonna be delayed. It's coming out tomorrow. The game I've been waiting for is coming out tomorrow. You're fucking with me.
Yeah. Oh man. It's insane. Like it's gonna be one of those days at work where just the whole day I'm gonna be thinking, I can't wait to fucking get home and put on AEW. And the worst part is, my laundry's done. I'm gonna have to wait a couple hours to watch AEW.
Oh man. And here's the other thing. How much you want to bet that there's gonna be people around the arena trying to get a photo to see if they find CM Punk walking in?
What if he's at the arena right now? They took him in a day early and he's just sleeping in a dressing room.
I mean, if he's down for that, I wouldn't like that makes sense. I think what's happening is like they're using a nondescript Uber. They're picking him up at his place. They're gonna drive around a little bit so nobody can find the car if they're at his house in Chicago. And then they're gonna just drive right into the arena.
Yeah.
Where no one can find them.
And well, we could talk about this all night, but I think we really need to wrap up because the fact of the matter is, in 24 hours, we'll know.
Oh yeah, well no, we're talking like it's gonna be like it's this fucking end of the world or anything. It's like no, it's just a dude coming back to wrestling, and it's like it's not just a dude.
You know what it is? It's that fucking comparison Few made on an episode of his Transformers review show where he was talking about like how nondescript a certain vehicle mode was, and he was like, this kind of puts into perspective like the casual's perspective on Transformers. Like, dude, that's just a car. That's not a car, dickhead. That's Wheeljack. Dude, that's just some guy with tattoos. That's not some guy with tattoos, dickhead. That's CM motherfucking Punk.
It's CM motherfucking Punk. You put some respect on that fucking weird ass name.
Yeah.
Man, it's fucking wild. And then there's still fucking Bryan Danielson.
Hmm.
If CM Punk shows up, my belief in Daniel Bryanson just goes up immensely.
What a fucking magnificent time in wrestling.
Goddamn.
We got the fucking wrestling multiverse coming together. We've got every talent we could possibly want coming to our favorite promotion.
Our favorite promotion is helping other promotions out and building them back up.
Meanwhile, the most stubborn promotion in the world seems to be crumbling at the seams.
Dude. Oh, I just had a thought. CM Punk versus Tanahashi.
Don't do that. Don't fucking start fantasy booking like that until we know for sure, at least.
Clobbering Time versus Rider Kick.
Fuck you! not gonna be able to sleep tonight, dude.
CM Punk comes out, it's clobbering time! And Tanahashi just comes out with the Kabuto.
1, 2, 3.
God damn. God damn, that'd be fucking sick. That'd be fucking hype.
Tanahashi actually do that? Does he do like the Kabuto 1, 2, 3 rider kick?
No,
Is
that
a
wasn't
thing he does?
Kabuto. No, he doesn't do that. He just does
Okay.
the hand sign. The
looking towards heaven.
yeah,
pointing
but
towards
it's,
heaven.
but it's like an open hand. It's like this. It's like this.
Yeah, because Kabuto's holding the Zector when he does it.
Yeah, but Tanahashi does it like that.
Yeah.
But that is pretty much all of us freaking out about wrestling. So in the meantime, why don't you tell the folks about your shit?
Hi everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. Don't go to any of my accounts. They're shit right now. I don't know what I'm fucking doing with anything. I'm in a state of flux. It's you caught me at a bad time.
Do you go to his channel and watch his latest video though? Because I fucking spent 3 days and like legitimately one night I did not go to sleep. I just stayed up all night and edited it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I kind of fucked up with that whole thing.
Yeah, it's you didn't realize you were fucking up. But now that you've seen the end of it, you go like, I fucked up, and we go like, yeah, you fucked up. Don't fuck up again. I won't fuck up again.
Yeah, I'm working on a bit of a stylistic pivot, and I have an idea for the first couple steps in that, and that is all I will say for now. It's not a big relaunch. I'm not doing that shit again, but let's just say there might not be a video next week, and then there might be some changes in how I do videos going forward.
I do have a pitch for a video you could do though, like a video kind of series thing. I'll tell you after the show. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
hey, howdy. I am Boingo Rider. I am also Chris Gaston. I make a variety of content on the internet, including the main thing that you can probably find right now is video essays and editorials on the YouTube channel known as Boingo Rider. You know how YouTube works? Put it in the search bar. You'll figure it out. I'm also on Instagram and on Twitter at Boingo_Writer. Follow me there to find out things and other things. I have some other projects in the works. You'll find out about them soon. But in the meantime, this has been a production of Modular Media. Did you know that?
Has it?
Yeah.
Has it really?
And
oh
if
my
you're
god, that's amazing.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, dude, did you know we have other podcasts?
We do?
Yeah. Okay, we have this one podcast called No Price Podcast, where me and you
What do we do there?
We talk about Marvel shit.
Oh,
We also talk about other comic books too. Like it's just Marvel's the umbrella, and we bring DC and we bring Image, and we just talk about comics. It's fun.
Can we talk about toys there? Can we talk
we
about toys?
dude, all the toy news.
Yeah.
But then we also have a.
What do we have?
We also have another podcast. This one you're in, and I'm not.
I am? I am? And you're not? Oh my god, it's got to be the best one on the show. It's got to get way more views than all the others, right? This Week in Toku, or TWIT, with myself and Buster Core, is a show where we talk about everything from the wonderful world of tokusatsu that has happened in the last week. Basically, picture this show, but good and popular.
Module Components, we talk shit every week. This is MMWP. Fuck you.
I've been waiting to pull that card for so long.
See, I thought we were having a nice, fun, friendly bit, and then you fucking pull out that fucking dagger.
Yeah, I fucking barbershopped you, bitch.
Till next week, you fuckers.